Hi, everyone. I am going to teach you two tricks for one, finding research articles that you can use when you're responding to a post or writing an essay, and then two, accessing the research articles. Because what you probably have found out is a lot of the research articles that you'd like to use, they're all located behind a paywall. So let me start out by showing you the first website, and that is PubMed. And so if you want to type in pubmed.gov, that's the link to access this database. PubMed is run by the National Library of Medicine, which is a part of the National Center for Biotechnology Information. It's awesome in terms of the resources that are aggregated within this database. There are 30 million citations. So if I am doing an article on lactose intolerance, let's say, I'm going to go type in lactose intolerance. I'm going to click search. It will come up with tons of articles. In this case, I have 3,663. I'm going to change the date so that I only get articles from, let's say, 2018. And I can look at all of these articles, read whatever I'd like. I can even change this so that I only get free text articles, meaning text articles that are open to the public. However, sometimes I want to be able to access articles that are behind a paywall, even though we don't subscribe to a lot of the articles that you'd like to use. So before I open any of these links, I want to show you also that we can search by article type. So if we're looking specifically for a review article, which may be helpful because what a researcher or scientist will do is they will read all of the current research at the time, and they will publish basically a summary of everything that we know to date about that topic. And so if we're writing a discussion board post or responding to an essay, clicking on review might be helpful because then a scientist will do all of the work of interpreting the data and looking through all of the methods and the conclusions that authors have written up, and they will summarize it, make it easy to read. So if I look at some of these review articles, I can see tons of different links. So I'm going to remove this. The first thing I'm going to do is find one that I want, and I want to look at the effects of probiotics in lactose intolerance. So I'm going to click this link. This pops up where I can read the abstract of the article, and the abstract of the article is often the most important part because it is what will tell us what the researchers did, how they did it, and then what conclusions they can make from the experiments that they did or the research that was completed. So you can always see the conclusions at the end of the article. And it says, for this article in particular, the effects of probiotics and lactose intolerance, it says that results showed varying degrees of efficacy, but an overall positive relationship between probiotics and lactose intolerance, which is a good sign. So I am interested in how they did this research. The first thing I'll do is go to full text links, and I will click this link. And if it's a free article, I'll be able to read it. However, what I find out is that this article is behind a paywall, meaning I'd have to have access to it through a university or a library, or I would have to pay for it. But I'm not in the business of paying for articles right now, unfortunately. So what I can do is look at a couple key details that are under the title of the article that I'd like to review. And the first thing I'm going to find is a DOI.gov link. And this is, I believe DOI stands for Digital Object Identifier or something along the lines, but every article that's published has to have a DOI associated with it. And it's unique for each article. If I highlight this and copy it, I am going to have that on my clipboard. But before I tell you what I'm going to do with it, I want to go back to this PubMed website and just show you that the DOI for the article is also written right here, so you can access it there as well. But now what I do with it is important. The next website I'm going to show you is called Sci-Hub. And so let's go to Sci-Hub. It's sci-hub.se. Okay. And Sci-Hub is the first, they market themselves as the first website in the world to provide mass and public access to research papers. And so it is basically another database that stores PDFs of the research articles that are behind paywalls, which might be a little bit shady. However, it's a terrific resource. So what we're going to do is copy the DOI that I just paste the DOI that I just copied, and I'm going to click open. And this person, Alexandra, will wave at us while we're looking at this article. But what has magically appeared is the PDF of the research that I would like to read, the full PDF. And I can download this. I could print it if I need to. And I am all set. So if we'd like to use this article, what we can do is actually go back to the pubmed.gov website. And while I'm on this website, I can click on, under the title Actions, I can click on the Cite button, and I'm going to change the format of the citation to APA. And if I'd like to use this, I can copy this citation and paste it right in the document or the discussion board post or the PowerPoint that I am working on. And I have that citation already formatted correctly for the references part of the assignment. And so I now don't need to use EasyBib or any of those other websites. It's already done for me. So I hope that's helpful when you're doing some research. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. All right, bye-bye.